Hello, how are you out there, YouTubers and future or current Quicken enthusiasts? Thanks for joining me in another video here. I'm going to do a quick video on how you can change the font sizes in Quicken Classic for Windows. I actually run into this a lot because people will hire me for an hour and help them with Quicken and we'll screen share and they're like, Joe, I can't see your screen. So I finally figured out how to change some of the font sizes. But before that, I want to tell you about my newly significantly updated personal finance course. It's called Personal Finance Mastery. If you're looking for more advanced Quicken tutorials, stuff that's not on my YouTube, but you're also looking to understand how personal finance just works in general and how you can master your personal finances, get ahead more quickly, managing your finances from a bookkeeping point of view, from investing your money to growing your income either at work or with side hustles. And also from the point of view of tax efficiency, you should check out the link below. I cover it all, and I believe it's like the easiest, quickest way to understand what personal finance is and how to attack it. So check it out. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Over here in preferences, we are going to look at a few things. There's both font sizes, by the way, for the register, and then there are font sizes for a report. You don't change them the same way, and you don't have as much control over both, but I'm going to show you both. Over here, if I go to register, down here we have fonts and colors. And if I go to fonts here, I can both change the font and I can change the size. And you're going to see that it does that. It's funny, there's a bunch of fonts in here. I wish, honestly, they wouldn't give you so many because most of them, it's like hard to read. I tend to go with an Arial and, stick around, 10 or 12 or something like that. But there are a couple other fonts in here that I kind of are easy on my eyes, but there's so many you kind of got to poke through. But that is the way you change the font for the register. Now, for reports, you don't have the option of any font you want. I wish you did, and I wish you could make things even bigger. I mean, mostly because, again, my use of doing Zooms with people, the reports get hard to read, but this is how you can change the size on the font for the report, and you basically only have 3 options. So if you do that, we come over here, it's not that much bigger, but it is bigger. So I'm going to go all the way to the other side and look how much smaller that is. So I really wish there were like 5 size options here, or just, your ability to put your point size of your font, but there isn't. So another thing you can do is alternate the rows with color, kind of like Excel style. But it does it in a way that is dependent on your organizational view. So it doesn't always do it everywhere you want, which is kind of strange. I don't know why that's the case, but what else can you do in here? Apply color to expenses on report. So if you apply color to expenses on report, you're going to end up, if you have a negative number, it's going to be red. Now, most just general accounting reports show most numbers positive because they give you your income as positive. They even show your expense amounts as positive, but the report knows that those are to be deducted from the income. So everything ends up positive on the report. However, if you do your reports the way I do mine using category groups, or I think even cash flow basis, no, just category group basis, you will end up with your expenses as negative numbers and your income is positive. I prefer this because I just like to see my expenses as negative, income is positive. It just works for my brain. But I honestly don't like having the red color there, and it usually is on by default, so you can come in and turn that off right there. So there you go. That is a way to change the fonts and make things a little easier to read. You can also change the size here of these things but not great control, but you can change it a little. If you go to here to view and you go use large fonts, that is going to change both your register and your menu, but then you can come back over here to your preferences and go to register fonts. You should be able to change the font here and dial in a little bit. But unfortunately, there's only big and little fonts for this sidebar and the top menu, and then it just gets a little too clunky for me. So I don't use large fonts for the side and the top. I just adjust my font in the register. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Bye.